Hello everyone, this is another LEGO Star Wars MOC. This is my FF-1 Watchman. We'll take a look around things, talk about kind of the idea behind the design, and check out the features of this ship as well. So this ship, the FF-1 Watchman, is designed to be a patrol craft of some sort. It's potentially owned by maybe governments, like ruling on small planets to help patrol the area, or maybe rich families who have private security teams hired out. But it's mainly kind of like an in-atmosphere patrol craft, and that's where the name Watchman comes from. Watchman, very, it's kind of synonymous with like a patroller, patrol craft. And then the FF-1, I use the Freeform app on my iPad to kind of sketch out different designs, and I just got the iPad, so I kind of the design for this FF-1 was like the first thing I sketched on the Freeform app, first kind of final design I have, so I thought I'd kind of reference that in the name. All right, so let's take a little closer look and kind of look at the features of this ship. I'm going to take it off its stand. First off, it's very, very swooshable. It's very sturdy, not too wobbly. You can swoosh it very, very easily. In front here, we have two light laser cannons, laser blasters, whatever you want to call them. This is a patrol craft. It's not some, beefy starfighter type of thing. So it just has enough to ward off, local threats and, maybe some raiders, just enough to scare them off. Plenty of headlights up front here, again, to help with the patrolling duty of this ship. The windscreen kind of cockpit area, a little hard to see in there. We will get a better view in a second, but I wanted to use a combination of both these windscreens, and you can actually see all the way through. There's this same windscreen here on the underside. So I thought that fit together pretty well. The booster is just kind of a vertical 2-engine setup. Nothing too crazy. This does not have a hyperdrive, no light speed capabilities. Again, it's kind of just an in-atmosphere patrol craft. So the pilot is pretty well tucked in there, so I thought I'd figure out a way to access the pilot a little more easily, so you can actually just take out this entire section here. You can kind of see down in the cockpit, there's just a simple panel and a couple levers there. A little tricky to see. Then we got our pilot here, who does need to lay down pretty significantly. I figure this pilot's like a retired starfighter pilot who's looking for kind of a mellower job and was hired on to fly one of these FF-1 Watchmans. It's a little simpler of a life, and he enjoys it. So we got a pistol here if needed, thermal detonator also if needed, and this is a little like rations survival pack type of thing. And he does lay quite far back. The little capsule for the pilot is not too roomy, but he just slides in like so. I like how it kind of fits together, and it's not super obvious that a whole chunk is gonna come back, and just kind of fits in nicely there. So the wings they can technically move up and down. I don't think this is a very good look for them, but it is possible. I like it kind of right here. It's more the sweet spot. Good angles, good classic Star Warsy angles. But also they can go up, and I figure this could kind of be the landed mode of it, although it is a little front heavy. Hence why I have had it on this stand most of the time. Let me stick it back here. So as I said, I kind of sketched this design out on an app I have on my iPad. And there were a couple iterations of the final sketch, and I couldn't quite decide on the overall kind of layout of the wings. I usually sketch from the top-down view, and this there are a couple different options, couple different ways I imagine the wings to be. So I actually just kind of made it that it could have all the different options. This was kind of the final form I decided on to leave it in its base model. But you can just quickly attach a couple pieces here and give it kind of a more aggressive starfighter look almost. You know, it's still in an atmosphere patrol craft, but I'd picture, you know, without these two pieces, this is maybe the base model that a government or wealthy family would buy, and they can make additions to make it look a little aggressive. Maybe that makes it go faster for whatever reason. And also, these little gaps here, I do like, and I do like how I have these Technic beams here, but maybe you don't like them. So with a quick addition, let me just get this in right there. Quick addition of a couple pieces. You know, this can have this airspeeder can have a completely different look to it. You know, that is much different if we contrast it with this side, kind of the base model wing, much different than this side. And we can even put these up closer to kind of give the wing like a continuous shape there. So this is, you know, this wing is significantly different than what it used to. So let me put these pieces on the other side and kind of show you what this almost this like 2-in-1 fighter looks like here. And like I said, I made it, you know, I had these extra pieces on hand just because I couldn't decide which one I liked more. I went with like kind of the simpler model as the base model, if you will. But just with like, you know, a very small handful of pieces, we got this ship, which honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I think it looks a little cooler. But I think it looks cooler because it looks a little more aggressive. And I wasn't quite going for an aggressive, you know, maybe if this was some Imperial ship, this would be a better base model. It really has some flavors of like a TIE Interceptor or something like that. Or like a TIE Striker even from the Battle of Scarif. But I was going for kind of a mellower patrol craft. And so the blunted wings and the little different segments, I think that kind of fit that vibe more. But I do rather like the look of this. And again, you know, if you know, whoever's purchasing this vehicle, they can kind of customize it to what they want. Maybe they can even add some beefier guns or some missiles or something. But for now, this is just a humble, lowly patrol craft flown by a retired gentleman who's seen enough battle in his days and is trying to kind of just get a break from it, but still making a living here. So let me just take all these pieces off. And there we have our FF-1 Watchman. It was a fun build, fun to design it and draw it. I typically, you know, I get my ideas from a lot of different things. You know, sometimes I draw it out like this on my iPad. Sometimes I just start kind of randomly building, or a thought pops into my head and I just go with that. Sometimes I have a seed piece or an interesting wing design, and then I just kind of go from there. But thanks for checking this one out. This was super fun to build. Until next time.